Welcome back to the Right Read podcast. I'm Isaiah. You can find me on Twitter at user G Supremacy. I'll kick it off to my co-host down here.
Hi, the host with the most. I don't even know why I said that.
Fake Will.
DeAndre, fake Will is what we found out. You can find me on Twitter at Willums, WILLUMZ. Passing over to my left.
I'm Usad. You can find me on Twitter at UsadNBA.
Why do you sound so depressed to say that?
Bro, just because host with the
That's his
most
gimmick.
prime me. Like,
Nah, word.
I
You set the bar way too high for no reason, bro.
I'll say I'm Real Will. So like, you know,
Real Will.
Real Will. You
crazy.
can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Bias Houston.
Let us know in the comment section down below which one of us has to change our legal government name. Because we can't have two Wills. My
Yeah.
last name's Williams. He's
My name is
Will.
Will.
So
but fair.
it has to. But aside from which one of us is gonna have to change our legal government name, we are continuing the series of previewing both conferences. Today we are going to be continuing from our last episode. We're doing part 2, the bottom 8 seeds of the Western Conference. Before we get into that, some news did happen with the team we ended off with in the part 1,
The
Golden State Warriors. I said that Jonathan Kuminga was most likely not going to get signed and that he was going to get moved. And I want to say 2 days afterwards, they gave him a 2-year, $48.5 million contract. Both sides are expected to explore trades sometime.
I was gonna say, so do you want to explain that one? Because it's kind of the way that it's structured.
Yeah,
Is
so
kinda,
it is.
Team option on
It's
that.
a
option.
2-year. It's a 2-year, $48.5 million contract with a team option on the second year. So it effectively is a 1-year tradable contract. The idea being either he plays well and both sides can reach a contract extension for next summer, or if they don't, when he becomes trade eligible, I believe for him it would be January 15th. I
Mhm.
want to say is when he becomes trade eligible.
Yeah.
They find a suitor for him, and then that team option would then get declined by the next team, and then they renegotiate a contract. So Jonathan Kuminga is essentially going to be playing the season and kind of tampering with other teams because
Very much so.
his agent is going to be making phone calls throughout the season saying, hey, next season when you guys have cap space, how much would you be willing to give Jonathan Kuminga? His agent, Aaron, is it Aaron Kraft? Not Aaron Kraft. It's Aaron something. He was posting the funniest videos the last couple of days about
Yeah.
their own personal mini camp. But his agent will then most likely go back to the Warriors and say, this is the feedback we've gotten. This is what we've heard. See if you can make trade with these guys.
And I will say so far they've been pretty open about being in option 2. Like in the Shams tweet, everything that's been reported around this is like, hey, this is a temporary balloon payment, so he doesn't sign the qualifying offer, and they're going to trade him in January. Like as of right now, I think that is completely what they're operating under. We have yet to see if it really is maybe like a prove it deal. Like I think he would have to at this point play like so well that they're like,
Yeah, he
you
had to,
know
like,
what,
pretty
you're
much be an
so
all-star.
good that like we're not going to trade you. But as of right now,
Mhm.
both sides have basically agreed to be traded, and I think that's why the balloon payment is so important as opposed to like another team we're going to talk about next episode with the Quentin Grimes qualifying offer. When
Yeah.
you do a sign and trade, you have to salary match, right?
Yeah, it
And
makes it
if
easier if
you're
you
the
have money.
Warriors this season with Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Al Horford, starting lineups, average age is 36 years old. You don't want a qualifying offer level player back. You want someone making real salary who can provide real
Or
wins for
multiple
the team.
players.
So that's why, like, at first I was confused. I was like, why would the Warriors do that? Like, you could just wait him out, force him to sign the qualifying. Kind of like how the Sixers.
That's another thing with the qualifying. Though the qualifying essentially comes with a
NTC.
baked in no
It's
trade
no
clause.
trade clause,
Kinda
yeah.
get one.
And that's why the second year is a team option,
But-
not a player option.
But that's the part that doesn't make sense to me is because all right, we're Rockets fans, right? We kind of did something not necessarily the same, but last year we did the Jalen Green thing, right? Where we gave
Yeah.
Jalen that 3-year deal, but that last year is a player option. And the point behind that was to give him the control. If you want to opt out and get more money, you can do that. Or you can opt in and keep your guaranteed money. My confusion with this Kuminga deal is it's the phrasing on it is that it's supposed to benefit Kuminga, but it's a team option.
Because it's for trade.
But that's what I'm
It's
saying.
to-
But like,
the team options to make him a better trade asset.
I think it's no.
well,
I'm
okay, but
with
if
you.
I'm
I think it's
Kuminga,
dumb.
yeah, I'll say
I think
I think because we saw, I don't know if this was ever reported, but I remember I saw like a list of like different contracts that they were offering Kuminga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like one of them was like a 3-year deal. And
Yeah.
my thing is like, if this is what I had to the table,
Yeah.
why would I not just take the 3 years?
I'm telling you, you have to view everything with the frame of Jonathan Kuminga no longer wants to be.
Yeah.
a Golden
They have
State
a
Warrior.
handshake.
Get paid.
Listen, they have a handshake deal that team option will get declined.
Mhm.
The reason.
But, okay, give him a player option.
That's-
Why is there a handshake
No, but
deal?
the thing That's on Kuminga's agent.
Yeah, like that
Not
doesn't make
on
sense to
them.
me.
Like if we have a handshake deal, give me the player
Just
option.
give him the
I'm
player
fine
option.
anyway. The messed up thing to me is because the team option, legally speaking,
They can decline it.
let's say no, not just decline it. Let's say Jonathan Kuminga goes out this year and
Yeah, you
averages
just
30 a game.
accept it.
Yeah,
They
they're
can
gonna
just accept it.
accept it.
They
Yeah.
just accept the team
We don't have
option and
to
be
do
like,
And now you have to
"Hey,
get
you're not
traded.
I mean,
going
at that
anywhere."
point, he's on a 1-year deal though.
He is on a 1 year
Yeah,
deal, but
but
like for 1 year, I get you on $24.5 million.
I
I
don't
can go
know.
make deals.
Yeah, but you're
behind
not
you.
letting the guy walk though. You're
For
probably
They're
still end up
not. Yeah,
trading him.
for what
obviously,
is phrased as like this benefits Kuminga, I
yeah.
don't really think it
I think
does.
they do have a.
I think it indefinitely
I-
does, but he could have just got a player option.
Absolutely, you have
It
to view the
benefits
benefit.
him.
It
Yeah,
benefits him leaving.
yeah. If let's say it
Yeah.
benefits when a
Like-
that's the point. It benefits him when a trade happens.
Yep.
Yeah,
That is
because the
the-
trade's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the team, correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say he had a player option, right?
Mhm.
And he gets traded to another team. He could decline that player option. They still have his bird rights, correct?
No.
No.
No,
They
they
have
do
his bird
not.
rights?
No.
They do not have
Okay.
bird
I
rights.
believe bird rights are a tricky one. I believe the moment you get traded, because bird
They're
rights are
basically private.
bird rights have more so to deal with. I believe someone correct me
I
if
mean,
I'm
I thought but we have KD's bird rights, no?
No,
No,
No.
we don't have
get
his
these
bird
bird rights.
We don't have his bird rights.
Yeah.
Bird rights are more so.
You have to
that's
play
a
at least
draft
3
thing,
you
and I
at
want to
least 3
say
years with the team.
yeah, it's draft.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
draft
Maybe
thing
I'm
for
wrong
years
then.
with a team.
Mhm.
We can just offer Kevin Durant is eligible for a certain amount of money, so we
Gotcha.
can just
Yeah.
offer him that
Gotcha.
money. That's why we'll talk about that at a different time. But I think the main thing for like this type of contract, and we'll get into it, but just with restricted free agency in general, man, restricted free agency is kind of dead.
Yeah,
It
sucks.
Like
is.
it's just kind of dead. Like this is the like best case scenario for going
Well,
into RFA, but
Oh man, it's
I
gonna be
don't
next
think it's
episode.
best case.
I'll bring this up next episode, but there are some people hitting restricted
I'm
free
like, you might have
agency.
multiple
names
players
that
to talk
will
about next episode,
yeah,
depending
true.
on how these
Yeah.
the deadlines go with these contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
But-
So,
All right. We can get into.
spinning back to the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors finished 7th last year. The 8th seed was a team that I think went through a lot this offseason.
Yeah.
Had a major shakeup at the top, trading Desmond Bain. Obviously, we were talking about the Memphis Grizzlies. Last season finished 48-34. It is insane that the 8th seed in the conference won
Yeah,
48
48
games
wins.
last year.
Jesus
So
Christ.
they went 48-34. Drafted Cedric Howard, 11th overall. He was a really late draft riser. Didn't play last season mostly in college, so he's kind of coming in without a lot of game reps underneath his belt. At least in the last year. Re-signed Salty Aldama, signed Jaren Jackson Jr. to a nice extension. Cam Spencer brought in Ty Jerome, traded for or got KCP back in a trade, and Kangaroo Deuce on the roster, man. Big Doc Tavius, Doc Landale. Some notable departures I think are really going to hit him though. Outside of Desmond Bain, losing J Huff, I think will
Yeah,
will
definitely.
rear its head more than they like.
Do you
to admit.
remember when J Huff was in Rocket Summer
Summer League.
and
Yeah.
looked so good, and we were like, "Man, who is this guy?"
I think he played like 2 games and then he got
Yeah,
signed.
yeah.
he
Yeah,
got
didn't-
signed
he
somewhere
didn't
else, and we were like,
finish, yeah.
"Man, we should have kept him
shoulda
on the
kept- yeah.
roster because I don't think it's an exaggeration to say he's one of the better backups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Like
for sure.
he's
I mean, he's probably
made a role for
gonna
him.
start on the Pacers.
Oh, he's gonna
yeah, he's gonna start on the
I don't even
Pacers.
think he's gonna be eligible to be one of the better backup bigs because he's
Yeah,
just gonna be a
He's gonna
starter.
be a starting big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, does anyone think this team got better this summer?
No.
No, I
And
don't
I'll
think
say
he was arguably their
tricky
best
thing
player and get better.
we didn't talk about is they're really injured right now.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna start
Yeah.
the season, I think down 3 starters.
JJJ's out for 3 or 4 weeks.
Edey will be out.
Zach Edey's out for 6 to 8 weeks. Mind you, okay, so I will say these week projections are from like the start of training camp. So JJJ's expected to miss like a week or 2 of the season. Zach Edey's expected to miss around around the first month.
Yeah.
I think there was another one.
There's certainly somebody else.
Yeah, there was someone else,
Let me see if I
but
can
It's not
But-
Jalen Wells, is it? I don't believe it's Jalen Wells.
I don't think it's Jalen Wells. But either way, the point is the Memphis Grizzlies are
They're coming in already.
coming in
find it. Oh,
shorthanded.
it's Brandon Clark.
Brandon
Brandon
Clark,
Clark,
yeah,
yeah.
Brandon Clark. But they're entering the season shorthanded. They're entering the season having traded away who I think was their best player last year, Desmond
was.
Bain.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a controversy.
No, he
No, he
definitely
was.
was
He
their
was their
best.
best
Yeah, I
player.
think.
Within the confines of last season, he was
Yeah,
their best
John
player.
Morant's been pretty up and down. With on court, off court stuff, just staying healthy. Like it's just he's going through a lot of stuff.
Off-court stuff.
Yeah, like I mean, the off court, he's missed games for it. So like, if you're
Yeah,
missing
he
games,
has.
like, I'm gonna
He
mention it,
has.
right?
That's
And
very true.
I just think this team just kind of needs a reset. Like they're coming under new management with a new head coach.
Yeah.
They have their draft picks.
They do.
And
They
they
do.
now have a surplus of draft picks
Yep.
with
Mhm.
the Orlando trade for Desmond Bain.
Yeah.
They got
The Phoenix.
they got 5 firsts back. They got that really, really good Phoenix swap in 2026. I just think this team should not, in my opinion, they shouldn't be trying to be a play-in playoff team. I think just be what you are explore these young guys a little bit, see what Zach Edey can really do, see what the guy you just drafted, Cedric Coward, can really do, and
Yeah.
just kind of like
It's a
take a
reset
reset.
year.
Yeah, it's like it's not a rebuild because you still have John Morant, you still have Jaren Jackson Jr. who they gave a contract
Yeah.
extension to. It's just like a soft little like
Yeah, I
just
mean,
chill out for a little bit.
I guess, and this might be a hot take, but my issue with what they did in terms of trading Bane is I feel like that's the incorrect order of operations of who should have been gone. Like I think the first person they traded either should have been Ja or JJJ, and I think Bane can play pretty much with any like type of
He's
player.
super scalable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean
Yeah.
we already talked about how he's probably the best player on the team last season, and so for me, if you're gonna do a retool, I don't think I trade the guy who's like the best and honestly the most scalable player on my team in terms of who he can play with.
But I guess that's kind of the thing of like, so you have Jaren Jackson Jr., you have John Morant, you
Mm.
have Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane is the best asset out of those three, I think, because of the stuff we talked about with
You
Ja,
think he's
with
a
the
better
injury,
asset
the off
than
court.
JJJ?
I think they want to keep JJJ,
At the
and I
time, he was because there was no pressure of a re-sign.
yeah.
Like I think the
Okay.
team that would have
You
traded
think
for
JJ is
Jaren
a
would
current
have
better asset than Ja?
I'm
yes.
not gonna lie,
Given his
yeah,
I
injury
don't know.
history,
he
yeah,
is,
He's
I
though.
think
short.
so.
I
I
think
think
he is.
I
so.
don't
It
know.
this
In all honesty, he's not 6'2". I
I
think
don't
like
know,
Yeah,
Josh,
man.
and
Josh is
Josh
a
had
ball
like
dominant
multiple
6'2"
injuries.
guard.
I don't
I think
know.
Jaren would be worth
I'm
it.
gonna be honest though. At this point, I mean, are we? So I guess this is a question that's gonna be the question going forward. But like, I don't. Do we believe in like a Ja JJJ core? Because I
Oh,
don't.
I've never believed in it.
Ja is not good enough to be your
Yeah.
best player. But I was gonna say, I think my issue with JJJ is we talked about when we did our was it the power forward or center rankings?
Hmm.
yeah.
He doesn't rebound and
Problem.
he doesn't have a position. He's like the definition of a tweener. And I feel like at least with
It's
Ja,
a reason you couldn't remember if he was power forward or
Yeah.
center.
yeah, exactly. I don't know what list we put him on. But I feel like at least with Ja, you know kind of what you're getting. I don't think he's good enough to be your best player. I think he can be your second best player. Um, and yeah, if I was a team out there that had that best player, I would prefer Ja to
Yeah,
JJ.
I guess my question is if you're willing to trade Bane, who I think is the best player,
I don't
and
think you
we
should
can
trade him,
argue
by
the
the way.
best asset, why not just trade all three of them?
Yeah, that's what I think. If you're going to trade one of them, you
I
should trade
think
all of them because you can get a real haul start that rebuild.
yeah. I think part of it is they are a small market team,
Yeah,
and they have been relatively successful the last couple seasons. Hasn't amounted to really deep playoff runs,
yeah,
but
but they won a lot of regular
yeah,
season
they won a lot
games.
of regular season
Yeah,
games.
They had
They
that
have
really good playoff run in 22
yeah,
when they almost beat the Warriors.
yeah. They've got
Shout
a
out to
great
Dylan
fan base.
Brooks.
They got a great fan base in Memphis. Some crazy fans on Twitter.
Yeah,
But man,
shout out to the Memphis fans, man.
shout out to the Memphis fans, man. But I think there's always a bit of a a struggle getting a team in that market to really fully rebuild when you do have a guy like Ja has his own shoe.
Yeah.
Like they have a legitimate, marketable. Whether you think he's an on-court superstar, off the court, John Morant is a
Yeah.
superstar. You
Hmm.
can plaster his face everywhere, and you're going to sell something. I think it's hard to let go of those guys because those guys are a dime a dozen. You can
Mhm.
throw him on every season ticket. You can throw him on every single poster, a billboard in the city, and guys are going to come out to see John Morant play. He's still a marquee guy.
Yeah.
He's a box office guy. So I think that's probably some of the pushback on them fully rebuilding. They also just it's fired their coach, right? I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
Taylor
Fired-
Jenkins.
yeah, they fired
I don't think
yeah,
I.
he was not the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins.
He
I don't
was
think
not the
was
problem.
but
Yeah.
you fire your coach. That's really the order of operations the NBA goes
Yeah,
in.
you fired the
Coach
coach
gets
and then you started
fired
moving
first.
people.
General manager wants to save his job, so you trade a player like a Desmond Bane. Then when you realize this core isn't in it, owner has to look and say, which one are we doing? Trading or getting rid of the GM
Yeah,
or trade?
I guess that's my thing. It's like how many times throughout NBA history have we seen a team open the floodgates and then close it before the building is flooded? Like if we're at the point where we're talking about trading Desmond Bane and not even just
Traded all
talking
of
about
them.
it, doing it. I mean, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say it's over, bro.
I mean,
Like
I
you
feel
just
like
do.
I feel like I would understand maybe the soft reset if I had like a Jason Tatum, an Anthony Edwards, a Luka
You
Doncic.
just don't think Ja's good enough for that?
Josh is not good enough. I
Yeah.
think Ja, and that's no disrespect to Ja. I'm
Yeah.
pretty open about how good you have to be a number one option.
Also, they just don't have a player to step into what because that's the other thing too. If you're gonna trade a guy like that, you either have to have guys who are good enough that I'm retooling and I'm good enough, or you have to have a player that steps into what they can do. And I mean, they have like really talented young players, but none of those guys are gonna step into what Desmond Bane does.
I mean, you know,
I
they
guess
could maybe get lucky and maybe the guy they draft this year breaks
I-
out or maybe
that is the weird thing about their pick It's a top 8 swap essentially because the Wizards are a part of that swap.
Yeah,
Let's
it
say the
is.
Suns pick is ahead of the Wizards pick. The Wizards can swap that Suns pick, and now the Grizzlies get the Wizards pick. Best case scenario for the Grizzlies is Wizards get pick 1, Suns get pick 2.
I was gonna say,
That's
but
kind of their best case scenario.
they also
for them,
have
though.
their own draft
They
pick,
have their
right?
own
So I
pick
mean,
as
you
well.
know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe
So
maybe you
I'm
get
saying
lucky.
you got surplus draft assets. I do think they are good at drafting.
They are.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
they're,
They
they're a
are.
good
I
drafting
think
team.
they
Absolutely.
have a
They have a
very
good
good
track record.
pedigree there, which I do
Especially
think.
at drafting role players.
Well, when I do think when a GM's trying to save his job, he can be like, "Hey, man, look, I got all these
Yeah,
draft
I
picks
got you
coming
these
up.
guys before, so.
Let me
Yeah.
draft these guys, right?" And then just overall, I do think there is a hesitancy in locking in yourself to John Morant, even if you are another team, because I think it is fair to say he's never finished a season.
Nope.
He is yet to
You know,
in his
yeah,
He's
NBA
kind of
career.
injury prone.
In his
And
NBA career, he's yet
I
to
mean,
he's
he's
injury
yet to come out
prone.
the
And
I'm
playoffs.
really,
So
I'm thinking about it.
$1.85,
Yeah,
and
was
I
gonna
feel like
say,
that's kind of
it's
being
soaking
Did he
wet.
nice.
finish
Like,
the
I would say
21 season
even when he's
when they
healthy,
played the
he's
Jazz?
been off the court
I
this
think
year.
that's the only time he did actually, huh? Well, he finished that one in the bubble season,
yeah,
but
He
since
finished
then
the
you
bubble
are
season.
right.
You're right.
He has not
That
finished the
was year
season.
2 though, huh?
Year
Yeah, that
2
was
and
year
year
That was
2.
3.
early jaw. Like I guess since he's really broken out into this role,
Oh no,
he's
year
yet to
2 and
finish
year
an
1.
Oh,
ACL.
Yeah.
yeah,
I will say
yeah.
for his benefit, he hasn't had like a torn ACL or something.
Agreed.
It's
Never
always like
been
ankle
like
injuries.
you're
It
gonna
was
be out
his
for
knee
a
that
year
1 year,
type of
right?
injury.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Knee 1 year.
but
Yeah.
he had I forgot if that was inflammation in his knee or something, which isn't a good
I mean,
sign.
I'm
regardless,
about to
though,
say
like,
that's
That's
not
not a
that great
great
either,
sign at
bro.
all. But
to say that as a positive for me, that's
it
creepier.
kind of is.
Like-
It's that
Like
weird
for
middle
example,
ground.
he played
Yeah,
last year. He played 50 games.
Yeah.
He played 9 games the year before,
yeah.
and it
That was
wasn't an
the,
ACL. The fact that we don't really
Yeah.
like,
It was just
yeah,
suspension,
like
and he had like knee
it was
issues,
like a
yeah.
bunch of like it was knee issues.
Oh,
back
he was
man.
out, and
issues,
then
it
he got
was-
suspended, and
Then he got suspended. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But like, that's more concerning. to me.
Yeah.
When people say like a guy's injury prone and they look at his injury, it's like he tore his ACL 1 year, bro. Like we know people that have torn their ACL.
Yeah, everybody gonna be out there, bro.
ACL is like that can happen to anybody, right? The random nagging injuries
Yeah.
that keep
Yeah, the ones
piling
that you
up,
don't know.
I
the
would
ones that
say,
you can't identify.
I just looked it up. He hasn't been eligible to make any All NBA team
Yikes.
since his first season in the NBA.
No,
Yeah,
this game.
he's been under 65.
Yeah, he's
No, he's cost himself money for that. because he
Outside
wasn't on
of-
all NBA team.
outside of year 1 where he played 67.
Man,
his,
yeah, that's
his
crazy.
second highest.
Yeah, they
games
should have
played
traded
is-
him. I'm
is
not gonna lie. I
61.
don't
That's
know
what
why
I'm
they
saying.
kept him.
When
bro.
you say why didn't they trade him? I don't think his trade value.
His
is what
trade
you
value
think it is,
probably-
bro.
Is it getting
No,
higher?
it's
though?
not. It's not. No, I think you can rehabilitate it though. I think if he comes
I
back
think
this
that's
season,
what
I
they're
think
banking on.
I don't think they are. I think they want to.
No, I think I don't think you rehabilitate Ja. I think they truly do believe that he can be.
Yeah,
a
they
guy
think
that
he's
they-
their guy.
I-
Which,
No,
I
put
think
put
they
it this way.
believe
I think because of that.
That's gonna cost.
No,
us
I think
jobs,
he's
man.
at a weird point where his value is higher to Memphis than it is
to the
any
rest
other
of the
team.
league.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he is,
That-
yeah.
That's why they're just gonna keep him.
And I mean, I get it from Memphis' perspective. Like, he was your number 2 overall pick. The flashes that he has shown has been one of the best guards in basketball. He has such an aesthetically pleasing game. A relatively efficient game when you look at a lot of his points per possession numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's a good basketball player by
He's not
all
a number
means.
1.
He's just, again, I agree with that. We talked about
Yeah.
the point guard list. I think he falls into that ilk of a lot of other point guards in the league where, man, it's just not a point guard league anymore. This is a wings and centers league where you kind of need other guys around you. You need a true 7-footer next to a guy like a Ja, and they got one. It's just that 7-footer doesn't know he's 7 foot.
I was about to say,
so
do they?
that's the
What's y'all's range on them before
Yeah, I
we
was gonna
wrap
say
up? and
before
get
we
to
move
the
on.
I
game?
go 7 to 12. I think they can fall anywhere between that.
I think 10 to 12.
Yeah, I don't know if they even get to 7.
I think they can fake it hot.
Honestly,
No, I'm not. I don't.
Yeah,
I take
I-
it back.
actually, I'll say 11 to 13. I
So
don't
you think
they're
there's
playing.
no chance they make the plan?
You know what? No, I'll stick
I
with 10. I'll
think-
stick with 10.
I
There's a
think
chance they
they're-
can sneak in.
I'll
Nah.
say.
I think they see postseason basketball. I think they.
I don't know, man. Because
Oh, man.
we're gonna talk about the Spurs in a second.
I'll say.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the sport. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, let's talk.
I'll say
Dave,
9 to
Dave.
13, and then let's go ahead and get.
Yeah,
to-
Can I be
I'll
completely honest?
piggyback the
What?
9-13.
I have absolutely nothing to say about the Sacramento Kings.
I mean, yeah.
I'll
Well,
say,
we can do the intro.
We can talk about. But
I have
I
something quick. I will say.
absolutely
I'll something quick.
Okay, so
nothing to
I'll
say.
just Sacramento Kings last year 40-42.
Man, respect the Kings fan.
Yeah, like
I
Shout out
apologize
to
to
the
all the
fans, but like,
Come
I don't know,
on, bro,
I
like-
respect the Kings fans enough to
I was-
tell
do
them
they
like,
wanna talk about
the
the Kings?
season's gonna.
If you are a Kings fan,
Like-
like,
team, bro. Like
come on.
You mean-
Sacramento Kings.
Let me intro 'em. Record mid, home and away record mid, conference record mid, notable additions mid, notable departures mid. Like, one of
I
their
mean, I'm not
notable
wrong, 'cause they
departures,
might be the-
respectfully, was Jake LaRavia, One of their notable
make
additions.
Larry is good.
No troll. Am I seeing this wrong? Y'all all have the dots.
No,
One of their
it's
notable
just
additions
Doug
is
McDermott.
re-sign Doug
It's just Doug
McDermott.
McDermott,
There's
bro.
nothing to talk about with this team.
I mean, they're
just mid.
they
That's it.
no, I don't think they're mad. They're bad. I was gonna say they're
No, they're gonna be like fake. Bro, Sabonis gets you like they're just mid.
Okay,
He gets you like
you know,
30
no,
wins.
no. Let's just skip straight to the end.
No,
Where are they?
actually, no, I want to say one thing real quick
Yeah.
about the Kings.
This the most obvious
I,
12 seed
there
ever, bro.
was I agree. I think that I saw a thing on Bleacher Report where it was like the Kings are at a disaster, and I don't think they are at a disaster yet. I think if they do not implode, blow it up this season, I
they
think
gotta start
you're at
trading folks.
disaster.
Yeah, but
You need to go not Valanciunas. Domantas Sabonis, I think has real trade value. I
He
think
does.
you can get a decent
fucking
amount in
can.
return
Yeah.
from
He
him,
could.
right? So I'd move him immediately. I'm not sure.
I would also move Malik Monk.
I would move Malik Monk. I would move anybody above the age of 25. I don't know if DeMar DeRozan and Zach
They might
LaVine have
move
trade
Keegan Murray
value.
too then.
I would move Keegan Murray. I would
I
trade.
promise you,
What
Zach
age of
LaVine does not have
25?
I don't. Yeah, I said I don't think Zach
Dude,
LaVine and DeMar have
bro,
trade value.
Nah, you just gotta
trade
sit that
value
one out. I ain't gonna
before
lie.
he went to the Kings. You know what the Kings don't do?
I
Rehabilitate
mean, okay, the
trade
only
value.
thing that might
You
save.
gotta let Levine be a taking man.
Also,
I ain't gonna lie.
the only thing that might save Levine is the fact that he's expiring now, as opposed to last
That's
season
true.
he wasn't.
That's
So
true.
like you could maybe, I mean, I get a first for him, but I mean, shoot,
Oh, you're not getting a
if
first
I could get
for
to like 2 seconds, I'd do it.
If you,
I'd trade it for
I ain't
2
gonna lie.
seconds.
by the way,
Are
the guy they're saying they trade for 2 seconds, I got so much pushback for not putting him on my top 10 shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean,
nah, he's not on mine
that
either.
I got so much
that's a little
pushback for
crazy.
that.
But bottom
Oh.
line is all I was gonna say is I think that this is like if there was a team in the NBA that says it's time to blow it up, it is the Sacramento Kings.
Light the beam.
It's
Yeah, I
time.
ain't gonna lie. This is
SBGs.
the first team I think where I say you're not making the playoffs in any capacity.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
I
not
think,
making it.
I think the range
Yeah.
is 11 to 15.
I think
man.
worst case scenario for them would be making.
Yeah, you don't want
Yeah.
to. But that also goes to my point of trade everybody. Let's go ahead and bottom
But
out.
that's the thing. They should have.
They should have did it
They
this
should've did that
offseason.
like 2
And-
It
years
should have been
ago.
this offseason.
And I get why they made the De'Aaron Fox trade the way they made
had-
it.
they
He
had
had
no
to
choice.
go. No, I get it. He had to go. I think they took the wrong return back.
They did.
Like
Yeah.
they took Levine back with the expectation of, and it's why I agree with you. I think they should implode. I don't think they will. I think that they think they can be fake competitive.
They do.
I feel
They
like
truly
sometimes we
believe they
forget, bro.
can.
Like, you know what rebuilds are bad for? Job security.
It is.
You know what guys in front offices want? Jobs.
I would say that, and then I mean, for a team that's, I don't know if calling Sacramento a small market is the
No,
right.
it's
They're a
very
small
small
market.
Okay,
They're a small
okay.
market.
I was
Have you been to Sacramento?
They're a
Yeah,
they're
I'm
a
like-
Cali team. I didn't want to
I'm not
like.
gonna lie.
I've been to
If
Sacramento.
you blink in Sacramento, you're gone.
I was
Like,
all I was gonna say
I-
is for a team that historically speaking has been bottom of the
Yeah.
barrel,
Yeah,
and
shut up.
they found some success
I
with the
bottom of
De'Aaron
the
Fox,
barrel is
Demontis
getting
Sabonis
nice.
team. What was that? 2 years ago when they made the
Yeah.
playoffs. The light the
Yeah,
beam.
top
the
three
light the
seed.
beam
Right.
teams, man.
You go
Light the beam.
from kind of somewhat restoring the feeling in Sacramento over there and putting butts in seats to now saying, all right, screw that, we're gonna rebuild. I understand why you would be like, we just got back and now we're trying to go right back
Okay.
to
Yeah,
the
but
bottom.
it was so obvious the writing on the wall. For
It was.
like
Yeah.
you got hot one year. Mike Brown coached his tail off, and now you got.
They got first rounded too.
I'm not saying you got first rounded.
So
by,
Nate
unlucky.
Fire,
too.
bro.
Like, De'Aaron Fox breaks his hand. Whatever.
So I'll
They're
say
cursed.
Draymond Green
unlucky.
kills
You
Sabonis.
got rid of De'Aaron
But yeah, we
Fox.
can range now. We can.
11 to 15.
What-
13 to 15.
I
I'll say
think
11 to
I'm like
15.
12.
I'll say 11 to 15.
Or,
I think
yeah, no, there's some.
I'll
bad
say
teams.
11.
They might
12
be
to
fake
15.
annoying, but
Okay.
they shouldn't be.
I'll
So
say
this is so far we're 2 for 2, I think, in teams dropping from where they were
Yeah.
originally.
I
Because
think
we
this-
don't think Grizzlies
Yeah.
are at 8. We don't think Kings are. At
I think the next team is the easiest they're going to be in the
the-
playoffs.
yeah.
I would say one of the craziest seasons a team has ever had.
Ever.
Oh my God.
In the history of basketball. At the
Man.
deadline, you trade away arguably one of the best players in all of basketball, arguably the most valuable asset in all of basketball, and Luka Doncic. You trade him
Oh,
away
man,
for
I remember
Anthony
them
Davis.
arguments.
second most valuable.
How many first round picks would it cost to get Luca?
How
And
many-
man,
yeah.
what,
So, like, you
two?
would have
That's what
baked
we in the finals?
2 and
You
8.
would have.
Two and AD is what we found
You
out.
would have bankrupt.
But okay, Mavericks. We want to just 39-43. 10th seed.
Yeah.
They were. I love saying this because people don't believe me every time I bring it up. They were one half of basketball away
from not having Cooper.
from not having Cooper Flag.
Yes.
Because people
Yeah.
forget they won their first playing game and they were up at halftime
Yeah, they
against the
almost made the
Sacramento
playoffs.
Kings
Yep.
to make the playoffs. And sorry, against the Memphis Grizzlies to make the playoffs. And they would have lost a lottery pick because it was
And funny enough, the Grizzlies would have got it.
the Grizzlies would have got it. That's what I'm saying. The one
Oh, I
half
hope you know
of
they would
basketball
not
away.
have sent Cooper Flag to me.
Oh no, definitely not.
They
Definitely
wouldn't
not.
have. Oh Lord.
But yeah, but one half of basketball away from Memphis Grizzlies, who a team who we were saying is like a little bit lost right now, having Cooper Flag.
Oh no, they wouldn't have sent him. No.
That would've been
one
nice.
one Adam Silver. I like my
Oh, he
life.
rigged it.
I like my life, dude.
I
I really, really do. I understand that pick was promised to the Dallas Mavericks as soon as that
How many
trade went
years
through.
ago?
But I was gonna make that
No,
joke.
no,
I didn't
no.
make that
Nah,
joke.
you alley hooped it. You alley hooped it, bro. Like you did that on purpose.
Anyway,
bro.
the Mavericks drafted Cooper Flag. They re-signed Dante Exum,
They did.
Kyrie Irving, PJ Washington. Kyrie Irving, earliest he'll play is like January.
January at the
Earliest.
best,
I will say though,
Buddy, I see him on
early
court doing
videos,
activities.
He's progressing
early
well.
videos looks kind of
he's
good, but
fake hooping.
he
So
fake hooping, yeah. They got D'Angelo Russell to kind of shore up that
I think
position.
fake good signing for them.
Yeah.
Dennis
Yes,
Jr.
yeah, it
he's
is.
back.
did not know he was still in the league
I hate that
until
He
I
came
saw this
back.
doc.
It's probably a depth
Yeah, he
signing.
came back
We're
like a
not
couple
gonna
weeks
lie.
ago.
I also did not know Spencer T when he went to the Hornets.
Oh, you can. Oh, yeah.
Until I saw
That
the
was the
tweet.
funniest tweet ever. It's like, man, I forgot. Like some of this stuff
Yeah.
that happens at media day, man.
Yeah. But yeah, Dinwiddie's on the Hornets now, and I just feel like if the question for this team and the question for this player's entire career has always been, is AD healthy?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I will say, early returns from his media day when he walked in with one eye like Fetty Wap, and it said
Fetty
like
Wap
he
is
has to have like
crazy.
goggles for the rest of his career. Not exactly like encouraging to say that this
yeah,
guy's
yes.
gonna have like a
Not
super
at all.
Less
season.
aura, more health. I guess. Well, the goggles might be more aura. Who knows? We don't know
Might
yet.
Nah,
be,
we're
yeah.
gotta see how they
know?
look.
It's just like I think this team is going to be as good as 80 is in terms of being on
Yeah.
the court. Cooper Flag, for as much as I like the guy, he is going to be a rookie, and he is going to hit the wall at some point. He's going to have at least 1.5 months of terrible basketball, as every rookie does.
hmm
Kyrie's not there. It's just, I mean, Klay Thompson.
Yeah, I think this team is gonna be like annoyingly good
I agree.
until Kyrie gets back, and I think once Kyrie gets back, it's gonna be very clear this is a playoff team.
Yeah, I think they'll be around that 10 seed area, and then they'll make a push for like.
Yeah, I think they're gonna scare one of the teams that's like, well, multiple teams actually, because
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be a
They're a
cluster
bad
from like
matchup
6
for a
to
lot
like
of
They're,
teams.
9.
they're a
For a
tough
lot of
matchup.
I was gonna say I saw a post earlier today from Mavs Nation on Twitter, but he put like the graphic of like their 10-man rotation.
Yeah, it's pretty
They're
nice.
pretty deep.
Pretty
I didn't
good,
realize
Pretty
it.
man.
nice.
Can I
It's-
ask, is Brandon Williams in that rotation?
I
No.
don't think
And I'm gonna
he
be
should
so
be
real.
playing.
That's why I hate the Dennis Smith Jr. signing. One of to me, like I love when teams stink, and I know it sounds so backwards, but you get to see towards the end of the season, those guys get those 10-day contracts, exhibit 10.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Williams was one of those guys that took his 2-way contract and looked
Shit, he was
amazing.
cooking us.
I'm gonna say I remember that game replayed it. Shout out to CIF legend Brandon Williams, man. Like that's a guy I look at and I'm like, he's an NBA rotation player, and that's like when Kyrie comes back, they're third string point guard.
Yeah.
They have a ton of depth on that team, a ton of length, a ton of size. Apparently Derek Lively's 7'3" now. I don't know if we're gonna believe that or not.
I was gonna say
but
the
they do have a ton of depth on that team.
the question with the Mavs is just can they stay healthy?
Yep.
Right? Because I'm gonna run through this lineup real quick. They got Kyrie at the 1, Clay at the 2, Coop at the 3, 80 at the 4, Lively at the 5.
That's a nice five.
I was gonna say that, but of those 5 I just named, the healthiest of them historically is Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Right? Those other guys have been in. I wasn't aware of how little basketball Derek Lively has played
Yeah,
until I was drafted.
yeah,
in
He
fantasy.
hasn't played.
Yeah.
Didn't realize he did not play as much. Right then off the bench you got D'Lo, Max Christie, who had a really good second
Max
half of the
Christie's
season.
surprisingly
He was really
man.
good for them. Najee Marshall was pretty good for them. PJ Washington has
He
been
got
good
a
for them.
squad.
Yeah.
And Daniel Gafford has
Yeah, they
been.
got a
Yeah,
they
that's
got
the
a
real
good
center.
But that's the
rotation.
they have a real
Anthony
like
Davis, like
10 to 11 guys that could
They
theoretically
they have
play. Like
3 centers.
I think people sleep on the D'Angelo Russell signing. I think he sucks if he's your starting point guard. If he's your backup point guard, and he already has he has chemistry with some of these
I think
guys.
I want to say he'll have really, really good chemistry with AD. They played together for a while. AD usually, or he used to seem like he really liked playing with D'Angelo
Him and
Russell. Like,
AD and D'Lo are really close.
yeah, like they
if you
seem
look
like
if you
they
look
had
at
a
their net
really
rate
good
and stuff,
partnership.
yeah,
so.
when they were on the court together, their net
Yeah,
rate was
D'Lo's
really
pretty
good.
big friendly. I will say that's the thing. Like,
And they have a lot of those.
you don't want D'Lo, I guess, more so for a playoff scenario. I don't know if you want him as your starting guy, but if we're just talking about winning regular season games, especially like until Kyrie gets back.
He
I
can
mean,
do
he's
that
more
job.
than adequate.
He can do that job.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Ranges.
4 to 9.
I was gonna say 4 to 7. I think it's a playoff team. Like if Kyrie, okay,
I guess it
4 to
depends on what
7,
their record's looking
four-
like
yeah,
before Kyrie.
4 to
gets back.
7 with the caveat that you get 100% Kyrie Irving starting
January. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I'm at.
I'm gonna say 5 to 9. I don't think
5
they
to
crack the top 4, and I think that there is a possibility because like let's keep it a bean. They're gonna get hurt at some point in time,
They're both not gonna
right? They're going to. I can see them being with all the injuries a play-in team. So I'll say five and
I mean,
nine.
if you got a bunch of
5-9.
injury-prone players, though, somebody got to be healthy at some point, bro.
And
Yeah.
fair.
That's what they doing with the center rotation.
I
All
from
right.
I'm gonna say 5-9 too, though.
5-9 as well.
from
Yeah,
one really interesting team to another very interesting team. A team that everyone thought the big three era was going to continue with them. Only one of that big three is left in Devin Booker. Traded away Kevin
Bradley
Durant
Beal, big
this
three.
offseason for traded away Kevin Durant this offseason
somebody queue up the
for Jalen
outstanding, bro.
Green, Dylan Brooks, and the 10th overall pick, what ended up being Kamal Malawach and
Great
a
pick
very,
for them.
very painful
Lima Malawak,
day for
man.
Rockets fans. We had to remember we got Kevin Durant because seeing him put on a Rockets hat, boy oh boy did that kind of stink.
I ain't gonna, I definitely did. That's the curse image for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Also
Malawach
in that same draft, at pick 29, I believe, traded for Mark Williams to shore up their big rotation even more.
Yes.
They got Rasheer Fleming.
And then early
Rasheer
second
Fleming
round.
in the
Second
second,
round.
Kobe
Yeah,
White
really.
in the
Who was the
second,
guy
too.
who? Do you remember where you had? Because you're the draft guy. Where did you have him?
He was about mid first for me.
Yeah, I'll say because I
A
honestly,
lot of people had him as a first.
I was gonna say he had a
Yeah, when
had a
we still
first round
had pick 10,
evaluation.
people were talking about
for sure.
if he was on
Yeah.
the list of guys.
I
for
would
the
say
state.
wasn't that? I mean, Brad did like
That was
2
Brad.
seconds of
That was
research.
Brad.
Yeah, I'll
That's
say
Brad.
Brad was like, I love Rasheer
Shout out to
Fleming,
Brad.
man.
He watched a dunk. He hit a three. He's like, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
Hey man, that's real, bro.
But yeah,
Shout out to Brad.
yeah,
man.
good pick and
You
Rasheer
can dunk and
Fleming.
hit
They had
threes on me.
a really good draft.
I
Really good
I
draft.
think the
They clearly had a good all season.
They they did such a great job this
I'm-
offseason.
I try not to buy too much into media day. I was watching their media day, and the one thing I took away was Jordan Ott seems like the right type of psychopath. When you listen to him talk about basketball, he seems so enamored with the details of running a system. And I think that's the type of guy that comes in and sets a culture. And I think when you add that type of coach who's, from everything I heard from that media day, every player said the exact same thing. We're going to play in pace and we're going to play in space. I think having a team that understands that's what our offensive identity is. And then you bring in, as Rockets fans, we know Dylan Brooks for the other side of the court, which however you feel about how Dylan Brooks' defense has been the last couple of seasons, the intensity that he brings, the demand that he brings for the players around him. And I think that the Phoenix Suns have really capable athletes. I just don't think that a lot of them have been forced to care. Like Ryan Dunn is a defender.
He's a great defender.
Like
Yeah.
Kamal Malawach is going to be in America for 2 years. And the first year he was at Duke, and the second year Dylan Brooks is his mentor.
Yeah.
Like they have a bunch of, I think, really rangy, athletic guys that are gonna fit really, really well together. I'm not saying that this team's gonna be like a top some seed or whatever.
Nah, I don't.
I think that they're gonna be the
believe that.
definition of like pesky.
I shouldn't have cussed. My
I
fault.
think I think they're going to be the definition of just a pesky team. I think they're going to annoy a lot of teams on a night to night basis. I don't think like you go into Phoenix and it's like it's not a Tuesday night in Charlotte. It's not like
No, yeah, they're not gonna be
man,
that.
we gotta
they're
go
not
to
gonna-
Phoenix
lie.
on Thursday. Dang, that kind of stinks. Don't let gotta see Phoenix on a back to back. Man, that kind of sucks. I think that they're gonna be.
I'm not gonna.
I don't think-
I'm not that
Okay,
high on
you're
them.
you're
I'm
lower
not
on
that
him.
high.
I'm higher than that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh,
I've
I
seen.
know. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
like I think.
you went on.
Hate,
I'm not gonna lie to you,
hate on
bro,
every
like-
team that's not the Rockets. I
listen.
Nah, he just
They won 36 games last year.
mean, he
And
loved reaching the South
that was
Rockets,
with
yeah.
Devin Booker in and out the lineup. They basically had no center rotation.
Yep.
Literally, they were starting at
Nick
one
Richards
point.
was their
Nick
starting
Richards.
center.
Yeah. Who's on the Warriors now? I think.
No, he's still on the
No,
Suns.
he's still on the Suns.
He's
Yeah, he's
third
still on the
string
Suns.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing.
Not the worst third
No,
string
it's
center.
worst
Yeah.
third string center is what he's supposed to.
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. But I just think a team with one really, really good volume scorer in Devin Booker, who I think has a real chance to lead the league in scoring next year.
oh man,
I don't think that's
he gonna
like
put him up in. Oh my god.
yeah, like
I'm so high in
like
fantasy.
he might take like 20 plus shots a game. If Jalen Green can have a pulse, right?
LOL.
Like 23, 4 and 4 on like decent efficiency. Like,
What is decent
that's
efficiency?
not impossible. Like
Are you gonna
57.
get
That's
that-
not.
I
right?
have terrible.
that first week of the season, Jalen Green?
I have terrible.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just saying. I think they have the ability to score points. This isn't like a completely offensive.
They have a Devin Booker.
yeah, which I think is an ability to.
I
Score
don't think he can do it by
points.
himself though.
I think Jalen and Dylan can help.
I mean, they have really good shooting on the roster. I
yeah,
would-
they have
That is the
really
one-
good shooters on the
They-
roster.
They can run real 4 out 1 in.
Yeah,
And a
Yeah.
lot of teams
I'm not a
cannot do that.
believer.
They can run real.
and
No, I mean,
I just
no,
think,
no troll, like genuine. Like I'm not the highest on them. Where like I've seen some takes about the Suns in recent days. Jalen Green might be their worst shooter in most of their lineups, and he's still like a 37% guy off the catch. Like
Yeah.
they can put out
He's
some
40
really,
last year.
really good. Yeah, on average, I want to say he's about
Yeah.
37 for his career. They can put out some really, really good catch and shoot lineups around Devin Booker. Royce O'Neal, shout out Cuzzo. Royce O'Neal can shoot the basketball.
Shit,
Yeah.
Dylan
Grayson
Brooks has been
Allen.
a great catch and shoot
Grayson
shooter.
Allen, really
Grayson
good
Allen is
shooter.
still on the roster. The guys they brought in, Rasheer Fleming and Kobe Brea. Ryan Dunn's kind of the one you want to see. He started the season off last year looking like Jesus
Super.
Christ. Why wasn't this guy a top 10 pick? Because if he's
Yeah.
shooting like this, he cooled down towards the end of the season. If he can find some level of stability off the catch, they will just be able to put out a lot of really lengthy catch and shoot
Catch and
lineups.
shootable, yeah.
Catch and
Yeah.
shootable. I don't know.
That's not a word.
It's not a word, but
Yeah, you
some good catch and shoot lineups around
I
the
just
Devin
think
Booker
you can gimmick your way to like 45
But
wins. with
okay,
this
but
team.
not. Oh no,
40,
sir.
I
No,
really
45
sir.
is where you
No,
do.
sir. They don't.
45
I really
is
think
where
They don't touch 40
okay? So
wins.
I wanna touch on a point that you made, and then two, I want to ask you a question about that. So with the point with Jordan, obviously famously came from the Cavs as an assistant. I think one of the biggest issues with the Suns last season, offensively, that they did have was they were pretty low pace, right? I want to say, off the top of my head, they were 29th
Yeah.
in the league in pace.
This nerd.
So nah, you're funny. So the Cavs last year were 10th in pace, and I think it's really fascinating that you outlined how in the media day interview it was a lot of him saying like, yeah, we want to play with a bunch of guys in space and run a pretty high paced offense. Because when you look at what they have on the team, it's kind of built to do that. So the question I want to ask us on the gimmick is, do you think the gimmick is just running a ton of pace and shooting a bunch of threes?
Yeah, and then playing good defense.
See, but the thing with the defense part is I think you can manufacture a decent first shot defense, but do you believe in their team abilities or their team ability to grab a defensive rebound?
I was gonna
No,
say because
I agree with
Mark
that.
Williams is gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
Some
Mark
point
Williams is gonna
He's
get
gonna
hurt.
injured.
Come on, rebounding is very much a work in progress.
Suspicious.
Dylan Brooks is one of the worst rebounding wings in the league.
And they're probably
Jalen
gonna
Green's
play.
a good rebounding guard.
They might play
Uh,
Dillon at the 4 or something
Yeah,
like this year.
but I do agree with that. The rebounding is a real concern, which is why I don't think they're gonna be good, right?
Like you said, 45
Said
wins.
I don't think
45
I think
wins,
45 is like the ninth
Bro, okay, no.
best.
One. I was gonna say we've
I
spent
mean,
a
that's
lot.
not incorrect, but that's still a good team,
Yeah.
though.
No. 45 wins is probably gonna be the ninth seed. But my pushback to that though is we've talked about how good the Western Conference is gonna be. A team that, and I know you might feel a different way about it, but we're gonna talk about it. Are they next?
I think
No, they're not next, but they're coming up. The Spurs are going to be good this year. I'm sorry, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to be
Shit, I thought you were talking about
playoff
the team
good,
next. I ain't
but
gonna
they're
lie.
going to be better than the Suns. I guarantee.
I have
think-
them like the same range.
I think no.
I guarantee.
I don't-
The
I
West is
think
really
this-
good, and there's teams that are at the bottom. They're going to be better.
That's what I'm saying. Can I ask? And this is my pushback
Yeah.
on like even y'all saying 45 wins.
They're not going to be 45.
I think my question is with how good the Thunder project to be, with how good Denver projects to be,
Ton of wins
how
to go
I
around.
that's what I'm saying. How good I still think the Rockets will be in the regular season. Gang, it's either going to be, are we going to see 58 plus win teams, or what's going to happen at the bottom of the
Yeah,
West?
that was the
'Cause that's
point I
what
was making
So
off,
you just
off
said
the
it.
pod.
There's only so many
Only so many
wins to
wins.
go
Yeah.
around. I think this is the range in the West where I don't think it'll be like last year where like the 8 seed has 48 wins. I think the East I think is better. Genuine. I know some teams got hurt, but I think
I
think
know.
no, Troy, I
don't
think the
agree.
middle of the pack East got a tad bit better than in recent years.
Maybe, but the top end fell off.
I was going
It-
to say,
it
and then the
did.
bottom of the West is still. I mean, we're talking about the Mavericks might be the ninth seed.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I think you're going to get to a
Which is
lot
why
of these
I know the
teams.
Suns are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because if the Mavericks are going to be in that range, the
Yeah.
Suns are not going to be anywhere close.
I agree with you there, but I think this range of teams we're going to get to, I think this is when you start looking at like their season goal is, do we touch 500? Not no 45
don't
wins.
even
Not
think
no
they do that.
47.
Yeah, because these teams are beating up on each other.
Put me down on record. I don't think they.
Because
they're not a
I think
500
you're
team.
I think
right.
the Suns win 39 games.
That's
why-
the
I got them at like.
that's the
34,
big point
36.
with the record stuff. When we talk about like these top teams, they're just separated off from everyone else.
Yeah.
Like the top 3 seeds, especially in seasons where you see teams like it's 261 teams, a 55 win team, right? Those teams with their record, they don't matter for the bottom teams. The reason why these bottom teams are all like bottom playoff teams, they're like all pushing like 45, 44, it's because they're all beating up on each other.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if you think all of these teams are gonna be within like the same range of games from like 6 down to like 12, then I mean, just statistically speaking, especially if you think OKC is gonna win like 70 games and like the Rockets and the Nuggets are gonna be pushing like 60, some of these guys gotta win 35 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
can't win.
It won't be
43.
the Suns.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I would
so-
say this. I want to give them some props because I was hating on them. I do think that if you're not going to blow it up, which I think is stupid, I think they should have blew it up. But okay, you don't want to blow it up, or at least blow it up in the sense of trading Devin Booker. I think the approach they took was right.
Yeah, they're
Right?
taking a
Yeah.
step in the right
Yes,
direction.
they're choosing for culture, identity, and fit
Yeah.
over chasing star names. And I think If you're
Yeah.
not gonna blow it up, that's what you're supposed to do. I think the Dylan Brooks acquisition, I think his name kind of carries like a joke because it's Dylan. He stares
Nah,
people
he's
down, and
so good.
he's going to change their lives. And
Yeah.
I think people like as a Rockets fan who was skeptical about signing him, take my testimony. He's going to change your life.
Yeah,
So
at the very least, there'll be a better product to watch
Oh,
even
it's,
yeah.
it's
instead
gonna be a
of
better
Dylan
product. It's
Brooks.
gonna be a better
This
team.
is he's the bizarre. He's the most bizarre floor raiser, I think, in NBA history because it's not like his skill set type of thing.
Yeah.
But I think for this type of team, for a bunch of young guys kind of hobbled together, a new coach, he's such a good culture setter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah,
like
that's what
even
you
for
want.
us, like respect to Dylan, we had to upgrade to become contenders, right?
We're gonna
That's
miss him.
not yeah, but like I haven't missed the guy.
We're
Like
gonna miss him.
if we
Yeah.
had the option to keep him and get
I
KD,
definitely did want to
absolutely
keep
would
him.
have, right? And
I'm mad we didn't get to keep him.
yeah, right. And it's
Even
just
some of his like micro skills, like aside from the culture setting stuff, like he's a legit 40% shooter now. Guys.
Yep.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really
Like
good
this
3-point
isn't
shooter.
like the Memphis joke of
Yeah,
like
it's not
leave
fake.
Dylan Brooks open. He's 40 from 3.
Well,
One of the
real
better,
volume, like 5, 6
yeah,
attempts a
like,
night.
funny enough, one of the better post up scorers in basketball,
Yeah.
which is quiet as kept. If you ever seen a Rockets game, the Canadian Kobe jokes were very
Mhm.
real.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, not even just catch and shoot. Like he'll take a pull up.
Yeah.
Like he'll
He's gonna
like
take a closeout.
but no,
yeah.
he was the best pull up 3-point shooter in the Rockets last year. I want to say
Yep.
it was 33.8%, which
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
world
Like,
beating,
great.
but
Which is good
For a role player, it's really
Yeah.
good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, for a role player, really good on pull ups.
So what do y'all have on? I was
Range
about to
is-
say, what do
yeah.
y'all have on range?
You go first.
You know, I'll be a little bit more optimistic. I'll say 9 to 12.
That's what I was gonna say 9 to 12.
9 to 12 for me too.
I'll say 8 to 10.
And I
think
think
they're
9 is very optimistic, to be fair. But
I think they're playing.
we can move.
Yeah.
Next team, another team that was very, very busy. This summer. The West was just a busy conference. I
Yeah.
mean, it usually
It
is. Like
definitely
this, but,
was.
the Portland Trailblazers last season finished 36 and 46. Notable additions for them: drafted Young Hansen with the 18th overall pick. Really, really intriguing Chinese prospect from the CBA. Won CBA Defensive Player of the Year. Has been linked to guys like Alperen Şengün, guys like Nikola Jokic for his passing at that size. Looked really, really good in summer league when I got to
Yeah.
go out there and watch him.
Yeah, he
Still
did.
has some areas of his game to work on, but looks like he could be a really intriguing player. Traded for Drew Holiday, which we'll get to how that affects another player on their team.
Yeah.
And brought back Damian Lillard. Obviously, he won't play this year with the Achilles injury.
They gave him a 3-year deal too.
Gave him a
Yeah,
3-year
he can
contract.
retire.
He's
there.
going to retire from the Trailblazers, which
Mhm.
I get in this ring culture era we have created. It's going to seem kind of iffy that Damian Lillard doesn't have a ring and how that questions his legacy.
The-
If you saw that reception he got when
Yeah,
he got
he's
back to
had a great
Portland,
career. I'm not
has
gonna
to
lie,
matter at
man.
that point, dude.
The
Yeah.
legacy he's built in Portland, I'm not gonna say it's as good as a ring, but there's not that many guys who
it's
can
as
say
close as
they've
you got
had.
it.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
I think getting hurt in an injury like an Achilles and
Yeah.
then blood clots, right? Like having that rapid succession of injuries
Yeah.
kind of puts things in perspective for you a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not Dame Lillard, I'm not a professional athlete, but I think he took a really long look around the league and was like, I'm leaving the Bucks, obviously, because the Bucks are not very good, I think. And do I want to spend the next couple of years after I spend a year rehabbing, trying to bounce around for a home,
No.
trying to compete for a title? Or do I want to just go back to my franchise, have my last 2 probably good, productive playing years where I like it, in the
Where his
town that I
family-
know, where
Yeah.
my family is, where my fan base is, and just
Off
like
to the sunset.
retired right off in the
Yeah.
sunset. And I think
Yeah.
like from a human element, a non-ring culture NBA player element, that makes way
Yeah,
too much
no,
sense.
I respect it.
I
I'm
have
not-
I can't blame the guy
no
for that at
qualms.
all.
I mean, for a lot of like Trailblazers fans, especially ones that are like relatively, not even just relatively young, anyone born literally after like 1980, this is arguably the best player they've ever seen
Yeah.
wear
Yep.
their
It is.
jersey.
Not even arguably. it is.
And
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of like young Trailblazers fans out there that, you know, this is like Christmas to them, getting their goat back essentially. That's like a huge deal. So I think I like it on all sides. I think he can mentor multiple guys there. He means a lot to that city. Obviously, he means a lot to that
Who's he
organization.
mentoring?
We'll
Scoot
get into that.
Anderson.
We'll get into
Yeah.
that.
So, no, let's get
Um,
to that now.
Afraid I've got.
I mean, first the
Bad
Chargers, they
news,
lost
bro.
DeAndre Ayton and then
I should have put
Brady-
Simons as an addition.
Lost.
Did I say
Dang.
that?
Oh,
Getting
two
rid of
additions.
Anthony Simons.
So,
was-
so
was-
before we we crap on some of their young core, before some of us crap on some of their young core,
No, before I do.
before he
Oh,
does,
brother,
Man,
wait for
before we
this.
get
I'm
into
still
that,
Scoot FC, man.
I do think the
Same.
departure of Aiden is huge because it's going to lead to more minutes for Donovan
Yep.
Clingan,
Ling Kong, man.
who I
It's
think
really good.
we had a whole segment on this. I
Yes.
think when we were doing our top 15 under 25 list. Klingon is
Yeah, I think this table is
really
very
He's a
high on
monster.
Clingan.
like I think
Same monster.
if they have a top 10 defense this year, it's because Klingon played 30 minutes a game.
Can I
Yeah.
get off that they sneakily could be better than the Suns?
No, they
No,
could. They
I
very
yes, we
much
can.
could.
I think they might
See,
be better than
I'm
the
glad-
Suns,
Same here
bro.
for me.
I'm glad you said that because I wanted to circle back to the point us had made about gimmicking your way into wins. I think this is a team that is actually
Their
equipped
defense is going to
to
be
gimmick their way.
terroristic.
Yeah, because so quick, because I did do a quick stat pool on this nerd numbers. So first 34 games, you're so funny. First 34 games of the season last year, they were 28th in defensive rating. The last 48 games, they were 7th. So this isn't just like a minuscule sample size. We're talking about pretty much what 60% of the season.
Yep.
And I mean, when you look at it, all of that pretty much happened was they played Klingon a bit more. Rob Wood came back. Played Aiden a bit less. They started playing Simons less.
Tumani Kamara is
And yeah, and then they played Tumani Kamara
He's
more.
so good.
And I mean, they were a 7th ranked defense, so it's not crazy for them to
They
come
brought
back.
in Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
Who's,
Yeah.
feel how you want to feel about him is maybe
Good
as a
defender.
guard. He's still a good defender.
yeah, especially as in a team context, he's a
Yep.
good defender.
Yeah.
So they could be a really good
And I mean, more Drew Holiday means less Scoot Henderson.
I was gonna
Oh, that's
say,
bad.
So yeah, let's
Uh,
pivot to
before
that.
you
That's
hate
bad
on
hate,
him, I
man.
think me and Zay,
That's bad. You got
look at his numbers without Anthony
got this one.
Simons. I'm not gonna say that I still believe he's the Scoot Henderson coming out of the G League Ignite.
Ooh,
I still believe that he has not been given the opportunity yet to be that version of himself. And I think that fingers
I
crossed.
ain't like you can't side at it, bro. They was starting
They was
Anthony
starting Anthony
Simons.
Simons.
I think at some point,
Man, dude, I'm not gonna hear you tell me that Anthony Simons was better than
No.
Not even
I'm
better,
not.
deserves
I'm
to
not
be Scoot
saying.
Henderson.
I'm not saying he's better, but I think at some point, if year after year your organization makes moves to benefit other players on your team and not the guy they drafted third
Is it-
overall, I'm gonna look at you and say,
Oh no,
"It's
this
not
is the
them,
year he
No,
got to show
but I
something.
almost feel like that.
you."
This
No,
is
but
the
no,
year he
I
gotta
almost
show
feel like
something.
that's on the organization. Because if you have like the moment, and I don't want to go too long, but the moment they traded Dame to the Bucks, I think it was abundantly clear that the guy they drafted number 3 overall in 2023, a guy who, right, maybe was drafted a bit over where he was actually as a prospect, but he was viewed as that high of a prospect in 2023. The key should have been
For
handed
whatever
to Scoot
reason.
Henderson in like a golden gift wrap box, like the second traded Dame. Everything should have been about Scoot Henderson, and they didn't do
I
that.
don't. I just want
So
to.
go ahead and
My
dump
bad.
on him. Go ahead. and dump
I'll
on him.
let you before I dunk on him. I'll let you.
No, I'm done. That's all.
No, you got it. You got
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I
my bad.
already gave my school piece last episode.
Poor, below average,
All right,
below
Like,
average,
this is like
All right.
average, below average, average. Those are his on-ball reps with the Portland Trailblazers.
For those of you who don't know,
What-
Is
what-
it, his whole career this season?
I would
just
say-
last season.
I'm reading his synergy.
Yeah.
points
Is
possession.
there any way to filter for without Anthony Simons?
No, not on
No,
No,
you can't
I don't.
filter.
Because I ain't gonna lie. I
Certain
know for a
lineup.
fact his stats.
Can I tell you what doesn't have anything to do with Anthony
Yeah,
Simons?
go ahead.
Him being poor in transition. That has nothing to do with it. He's a overrated athlete, an overrated processor, a bad shooter, a bad finisher at the basket, a bad defender, a decent passer at best,
Hey, man,
whose
Portland
entire
fans
scoring
hate that
process
way.
is more akin to De'Aaron Fox than it ever was to a guy like Russell Westbrook. He's a snaker.
No,
with
respect his
He's
interior
a
passing.
snaker
That's
with
bad
zero
cap.
touch, and if interior passing is the one calling card I have to give for my point guard of the future, Jesus Christ, trade him now and save your franchise. There's a reason why year after year after year, trade for guards or sign guards or start guards in front of him.
He's
Because
incompetent.
at some point, you know what was incompetent? Drafting him third.
Nah,
At some point.
nah, bro.
No. Y'all can't say this is me doing this. Y'all were all there in those spaces. I've been saying this about him since
No, you
day
have,
one,
but I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie.
and I will stand on this.
So
They
yeah,
should-
they should have got
Amen Thompson.
I mean,
it was
that's
so
fair.
easy.
That's fair.
And if Amen Thompson was going to take a star, if a star was going
Yeah,
to take
I-
anybody else, he
nah,
wasn't that
dude.
good. He's shown he isn't that good.
They-
No, what piece of evidence do you have? And if the evidence is, well, when Anthony Simons was off the court, Jesus Christ, chalk him. He sucks. Serious question. When he comes back, because guess what? He's already hurt again. When he comes back from injury, is he going to start over Drew Holiday?
Probably not.
Probably
But I think that's a problem though. I'm gonna be. I think that's an issue.
Is he starting over Drew Holiday because he's better? Because he's not better than him, or because this organization is dumb?
No.
Let me answer that. Who will win more games this year, Drew Holiday or Scoot Henderson?
maybe to start Drew, but my thing here's
He is going.
okay, no, but hear me out. Hear me. No, hear me out. Hear me out.
It's contract talk.
He is
Hey, man,
not.
year 4 is the new
He
year
has
3,
not
bro.
been in an opposite situation for
brother.
himself.
Come on now, man.
Chauncey Billups, feel like you want to feel, may not have been the biggest fan of Scoot Henderson. I don't care what you say. Starting Anthony Simons over him is a mistake. And the last thing I was going to say is, even if Drew Holiday is better at this point in time in his career, which I don't think it's crazy to say that he's not, but okay, whatever, maybe he is. I think that the Portland Trailblazers, you're not, like, you shouldn't, the goal should not be to push for the play-in playoffs. The goal should be, we have a bunch of young guys in this roster who are pretty promising. Let's get the best version.
Can I ask a question? And this is a genuine
And that's Scoot
question.
Henderson.
This is a genuine question I asked. And this isn't just for Scoot Henderson. This goes for all prospects. Why is it always only on the organization to develop a player? Why is it always only on the organization to put this guy in the right position?
I mean, but
why is it always only the organization?
It's not like the Blazers have.
I mean, I feel like
No,
this one
but
is
to
more
his
so
point,
like
when
play
he
him.
said sneaking a pick and roll with no touch, I did kind of give Vian.
Okay, but my problem with that is it's not like the Blazers have been this great successful team. Like, it's not like they're I have to give me bring things back to the
They've
Rockets.
developed other players.
It's not Reed coming off the bench for a contender. They're a bottom feeder team that's not prioritizing their highest tiered prospects.
I'm gonna be honest. I think they have prioritized their highest tier prospect.
But they didn't.
Shaden Sharp's a higher tier prospect at this point. Donovan Clingan's a higher tier prospect.
I mean,
I'm fine
with
it a
I'm
spade
fine
a
with you
spade.
saying that.
Tumani Kamara is more important
No,
for them than
shut
Scoot
up, bro.
Henderson.
No.
I mean, but
Tumani
It ain't gonna lie,
Kamara
bro.
is more
You can't
those
get that. You can't get that off when they did not even prioritize him in year one. You can say he's a cooked prospect now. In year one,
no, I should prioritize
coming
last
out
year,
of
I'm
the
not
G
gonna lie.
League Ignite, he should have been the franchise. He should have had the keys. He should have been
I
spawning into 32 minutes a night. He should have had all of that from day one.
This is what I think happened. Genuinely, I think when he went into training camp, that coaching staff looked at each other and said, "What the hell is
Okay, but what do we have to lose in giving him the keys?
my job?"
Man,
He gonna lose that anyway. I'm not gonna lie.
Man,
He gonna lose that anyway.
Let's get to ranges, bro.
we're gonna argue all day.
Okay. I think 8 to 10.
If Scoot Henderson plays 15,
No,
seriously. I actually like this team. I'd go 9 to 11. I think about their range.
I'll piggyback 9 to 11.
I think that's
9 to 12.
I'll say 8 to. I'll go 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
I think this defense is
I
good
think
enough.
they're
This
fighting
can't
for
be a playoff
Yeah,
team.
I think
Yeah.
Okay,
they're sneak
so
playing.
next team, that
Oh, man.
Isaiah, you should introduce this team. They like you a lot.
Obviously, shout out to the Spurs fans out there, man. San Antonio Spurs last year they went 34-48. Notable additions: they drafted Dillard Harper, 2nd overall.
Good pick.
They drafted Carter Bryant, 14th overall.
Good pick.
They re-signed De'Aaron Fox. They
Not good
signed
pick.
Lou Cornett and Kelly Olynyk.
great contract.
And
Great deal.
for their departures, they lost Chris Paul, Blake Wesley,
Yay.
Malachi Brown.
Yay.
I'm
That's a
not.
bunch of
Say that last name. Go. Say that.
I'm not saying that.
Sandro Mamukulashevsky.
You lucky probably
You
did.
might have got close.
You might got very
Yeah.
close.
I would say it was funny. Every Rockets game I went to against the Spurs, he was in for the last 5 minutes in garbage time,
crazy.
and he was hooping.
They go crazy.
Sandro was hooping,
He was
man.
sniping.
And shout out to Jonathan, our PA guy. He pronounced it right every single time.
This is
Shout out to the GOAT, man.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. This is a team that I think is gonna take a jump.
De'Aaron
and
Fox
he's-
is out for how long?
He's out for
Probably
the
about
first week. Only
or
the first.
something,
Okay.
so-
His return date they're eyeing is November 1st.
Okay.
So like the first week and change. Another injury they mentioned. Who was it? Someone else was out. Am I tripping? Dylan Harper.
Oh yeah, because he had the
Yeah.
summer league injury. So I
Dylan
think
Harper got hurt in summer
they're
league.
How long
playing
is
it
he out?
slow with him.
They're
Oh,
playing slow
they're
with
just
him,
gonna
yeah.
monitor him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, monitor now after training camp. It might be like he might come off the bench type deal.
I mean, he
so
was
we'll
always
see.
Probably already gonna do that.
Well, I mean,
Not
they-
according to them.
I will say actually
Talking about the two?
on the flip side of that they did their training camp, started training camp yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And obviously training camp starting lineups are different. Everyone tries looking so hard at what color penny a guy has on. Is it
Yeah,
the
it
black or
doesn't
the gray
matter.
one?
Yeah.
Their starting lineup for training camp, which obviously doesn't really matter, didn't include Stephon Castle or De'Aaron Fox, or not De'Aaron Fox, or Dylan Harper, which
Yeah, I figured it may not.
was intriguing that it was neither one of those guys. I believe the lineup they ran was like Harrison Barnes, Sohan,
Yeah, Castle.
Vassell, somebody else, and Wimby.
Vassell's going.
Ooh.
Vassell.
Yeah, which I'm assuming
Yeah.
Fox will end up being in that spot.
I
but-
think Fox, Wemby, or
Ugh.
like if those two don't start,
Nah, Vassell
something's
has
gone
to.
wrong.
He's your best shooter. Vassell has to.
I'll say he's gonna start, but I'll say to kind of
I like
give
Sohan
my.
might also be locked in.
Yeah.
I don't really like that, but
Well,
he
I mean,
could.
Barnes maybe too.
I don't like that either.
That's the whole
But I
starting.
was
That's the whole starting five.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, man, Dylan Harper, I thought was a really good pick. Come off their bench and develop into hopefully their point guard of the future with De'Aaron Fox hopefully departing sometime soon. I love the Carter Bryant pick. He looked amazing in summer league as a he's gonna make a couple all
He
defensive
looked amazing on
his
defense.
defense
Yes,
looked
defense.
amazing.
Yes, defensively, of
Yeah.
course. Defensively, of course. He's gonna make a couple all defensive teams. And then you have Victor Wembanyama, who is going to be the best defender, arguably ever, going into year 3. So knock on wood, this guy stays healthy this year. I think we
Top 5
had him-
NBA player.
Yeah, I think he's a top 5 NBA player in the league. I think that he's going to be so good, and they're going to have such a good defense around him. This is a team that I think is going to sneak. Like, could be. I'll go into my range. They could be anywhere from like 6 to. I think they could sneak it, bro. Because I think Wemby's gonna be good. I think Wemby's gonna be that good for them this year. They could sneak anywhere from like 6 to I'll say 9.
My worry isn't
Nah.
Wemby.
So
My
you
worry.
don't think they missed a play in at all?
I think they are 100% a playing team.
I think they're a playing team for sure.
They're I mean, bro, if knock on wood, if
100%.
Wemby
Yeah.
stays healthy,
Like
I
that.
think they're gonna be that good.
I'm not gonna lie. I won't give a range. I think this is like the 9th seed. I think
I can
like
see it.
I think they're gonna be around that
Yeah.
mid 40s,
I'll say
40 range. I think the only thing is Wemby is going to be Wemby. I think he's gonna be phenomenal. If he's healthy, that's gonna be like a really good defender, obviously. My concerns with them is like the backcourt shooting, and the rebounding.
Well, you could just say your concern is the rest of the team.
But I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
like-
but to be fair, I feel like a
Let's be
lot of that
real.
matters
Yeah.
more come playoff time. In the regular
Well, it
season,
matter in the regular season too.
So I also-
feel like,
I'll be
I feel
honest-
like a duo of De'Aaron Fox and Wemby in the regular season, I think
it's
can
not gonna
get
be
you
that good, bro.
at worst the 9th
It's
seed.
not-
That's a
at
play-in
worst,
team.
I think
That's a play team at worst.
I think they're gonna be like
This could be a playoff
this
team. I
is
promise it
the
could be.
mid 40s team that's gonna be the 9th seed.
I mean, so
that's just what they are.
my thing one
He had 40s.
yeah.
I-
So
How do you feel about the Suns? How do you feel about the Spurs?
my
I think
first
both
I
of them were
think
just like at best 500 teams still. But
Really?
I think the
Yeah,
Spurs
man,
will be
I'm not
fortunate
gonna
to
lie,
win 41
dude.
games.
Damn.
because so for one, right? I think especially now in this like era of the league, I think it is harder to just individually floor raise a team. And as good as Wemby projects out to be, and as well of a defensive floor raiser he's going to be, and as crazy as his net rate numbers are going to be, which I'll just very quickly read off. So last year, right, when he was off, they were a negative 9.6. This year, when he was on, they were a positive 3, or last year, positive 3.7, right? So I think when Wemby's on, like they're going to look like a playoff team. I think a problem there is I don't think their starting lineup is that good, even with Wemby on. I think he's going to carry obviously their net rating, but it's not going to be like a Denver type of deal or anywhere close where it's like this is like statistically one of the best starting lineups in the league. Like I think they're probably an average starting lineup with Wemby in. And then I mean, when he comes off the court, they're putting up worse than the league level of net rating, and that's not only just like a missed game stat. I mean, he's not playing 36 minutes a game. We're talking
Yeah,
about a guy who's going to play like what 34.
34 is high. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm being like real liberal with that
I
because
think
it's
they're
probably
gonna
gonna be like 32.
Yeah, y'all remember what they did with Giannis like 3 years ago, where he was like at 30,
Yeah.
and he was like still putting up like MVP caliber stats, but he was like literally at 30, sometimes 32 minutes.
Yeah, like they're not
think that's
winning
what they're gonna
43 games if he's playing 30 minutes. They just not. That's too many minutes in the
I
game
don't
where he's
think
not
De'Aaron
playing.
Fox is that bad. I think he.
That's
Can
kind
I,
of where
can I
I'm
tell you
at.
why he is? I'm
Please go
hey,
ahead.
I'm gonna- hey, I wanna-
Poor.
I know it's not even
poor.
it's not even just the fact. Well, it is that. But the two most important players on their team next year are Wemby, and it is going to be De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
The biggest issue I had the moment they traded for him, the moment the idea even floated in the air of them potentially trading for De'Aaron Fox, was that partnership to me makes zero sense for De'Aaron Fox's most used play type, which is a pick and roll. The way De'Aaron Fox operates as a pick and roll point guard does not fit whatsoever with how Victor Wembanyama operates as a pick and roller. Wemby's not a true screener, right? He's gotten better as a screener since he entered the league, since his time overseas with Mets 92. You can go back to his FIBA U17 tape if you want. He's improved as a screener. He's still a guy that he sets what I like to call Christian Wood screens. And we got to talk to Lion Hollins about this in the space of why some slender guys prefer to slip screens more. You don't want that tax on your body. And for Victor Wembanyama,
Yeah, you
who's
definitely know.
your franchise, I don't want him taking 70
he
something
can't set 20
screens
20
Yeah.
across a
screens,
3-game
yeah.
stretch. You just don't want him doing that. Issue is with De'Aaron Fox, the nature. as much as we call him Swipe of the Fox and he's the fastest
He's
player in
not
the
that guy
league,
no more.
he
doesn't
doesn't
do that
use
like
that.
that.
He's
He
miscast
prefers
as like John Morant light, and that's not
yeah,
who he is.
he presents or he operates out of pick and rolls by a lot of snaking. He's a prober, which works at times, but that requires a Domantas Sabonis. That requires a Jonas Valanciunas. That requires a big body screener that is going to create space for you. Wemby, by sheer size alone, is going to create space. Difference between him and a Sabonis, him and a Valanciunas, him and any other real screen setting center, he's not going to hold that space for you. Because Wemby's expectation off the screen is I'm not here to get
I'm
you
getting the
open.
ball. Yeah.
I'm getting the goddamn ball. And that's what Chris Paul figured out very early. I could throw this hoe to the box, to the rim, to the moon. The 7'5" guy is going to go get up and grab it. That's just the nature of how his pick and roll worked. I think that partnership, it's just not going to look good numbers wise. When you include passes, De'Aaron Fox had 186 possessions on PNRs last year with the Spurs. With Wemby, it was 101, below average. In the games they played last year, it's early. They weren't developing chemistry. I'll give them a bit of grace for that. I just still think the way that both of them operate in their what's most likely going to be their most used play type under a rookie head
Oh, it
coach at
definitely
that,
is.
which is something nobody's bringing up. Mitch Johnson is their head
I was
coach.
mentioning, I
He's
don't
a
know if I like their
rookie.
coach.
He wasn't great last year. I'm gonna keep it a
Yeah.
stack, which he got thrown
It's
into the
hard to
fire.
mess up
So
Wemby, man.
yeah, he got thrown into the fire. So I'm gonna
They
give
trying to
Giannis
do it.
some
I ain't
grace,
gonna
but
lie.
just I don't believe in this team as much as other people do. The backcourt shooting sucks. I think their overall chemistry in terms of their play types is gonna really, really stink. So I
That's
don't
fair.
know, like
Okay.
41 wins. What I
41.
think.
So what's that, like 10 seed?
That's like
9, 10 seed.
11.
I
9,
think
10?
they're gonna
Okay, so
sneak
you
into
said
the
9,
play-in.
10. I said 9.
I ain't got
You
what
said
41 wins.
I
You said
said
6?
6. I am that high on Wemby.
Yeah,
But I
okay,
think
that's
I think
What
he
do
can
you
be
what do you
that
think?
good. I think that somewhere from like 6 to like we'll say 10.
I'm
6
I'm
to
gonna
10?
say 9 to 12.
9 to 12. Okay.
I just
Now,
San
They're
Antonio.
not missing the plan,
do,
I
do, we-
guarantee it.
do we want to talk about I guess this is my hot take, worst trade in NBA history on draft night?
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's we
god.
can breeze these last two.
Yeah. Last one, honestly. We can skip the last
I was-
but New Orleans
The
Pelicans.
Jazz suck. What did they do?
Yeah.
Is there Jazz?
Trade Laurie Marketing.
Yeah, New Orleans Pelicans 21-61. They re-signed Herb Jones, good move. Uh we have to talk about it. On draft night, they made, I think, one of the most mind-boggling decisions.
No, it's
I've ever
easily the
seen.
worst trade I've ever seen in
Yeah,
my life.
they
We're not the worst.
so I'm just gonna read
It's
the
up
trade
there.
and then we can talk about it. They traded to the Hawks Asa Newell, who they drafted with pick 23 of that year, and the 2026 first round pick, which is the most favorable of their own and the Milwaukee Bucks. Right?
Yeah.
Completely
And it's unprotected.
Yes, completely unprotected, right? So, in English, right? If the Pelicans suck, the Atlanta Hawks can get that pick. If the Bucks are terrible, Atlanta Hawks will get that pick.
Just real quick, the Bucks could suck. They are
If Giannis falls off,
they are a Giannis injury from being
Yeah.
the worst team in the East.
and they did that for Derek Queen, who they got at pick 13, so they moved up 10 picks in the draft for this.
That's just
And
crazy.
I
It's just
just,
bad value offer. You
I
that's
just,
just
to
yeah,
move up
crazy.
10 spots.
what
you
if
traded two
Derek
firsts.
Queen becomes
Yeah.
Jokic?
he's
That's still
better.
bad value,
Yeah, what if he
man.
becomes Jokic?
It's just, I just think, just in terms of
Okay.
operating, just in terms of
He's
operating
unbelievable.
like a franchise, historically, if you're on the other end of the phone of Joe Dumars, you come away looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Can we
You
go on the
gonna
other
trade
end
me
of the
what?
phone?
yeah,
Are you sure?
like if
Yeah,
you,
Oh yeah, send it through. Send it through. Send
I
it through.
really like that Derek Queen guy. So I mean, like, we might not make the playoffs next. You want that 26 pick? I don't think we're gonna use it. Like, we're getting 2 rookies now, so why do you need a third
Yeah,
one?
who
Next year?
cares?
and I'll end it here, but I think if we're not going to get into it here, go look up Joe Dumars' transaction history through NBA history.
Oh boy,
Please
it's
don't go
bad.
It
look
is
up Joe Mars.
insane,
It's
Do
right?
not, do not
bad.
search up Joe Dumars and transactions.
And real quick, the only saving grace for this trade was, oh, you know what? Maybe they're just really high on themselves this year. Giannis. Zion came in skinny.
Man.
They're like, we're gonna be really good.
I'm not fooled.
The
Shout out
fact
skinny
that their
Zion,
head
man.
I'm not
coach
fooled.
and owner came into media day and said, we're not even sure if we're gonna be a playoff team, makes this trade an absolute.
They said what?
Yeah,
Yes.
you didn't see
Yeah.
what Joe Dumars said?
Yes.
Dumars, the guy who made the trade,
Joe
as well,
Dumars.
said, he said, and I quote, "I'm not going to put the pressure on this
Yep.
team to make the playoffs, despite not having our own first round pick."
That's what made me want to
It's a
bring this
terrible
up,
trade.
because like, what are you doing?
I mean,
That can't be a real.
no,
It's a real quote.
Go back.
It's a
I
real
didn't
quote.
say the exact quote, but that was the
No,
No,
gist of
that's
what he
the
said.
gist of what he said.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a real quote.
Okay.
So maybe
So-
maybe skinny Zion is It's
Bro,
something,
bro,
but
I ain't gonna
we
lie.
can get I think 13,
There has to
15.
be like a worst
Yeah.
executive in the league award.
Then,
Gen-
if there was,
genuinely-
he would be a multi-time winner.
Genuinely, when Darren Peterson is an Atlanta Hawk next year,
oh man,
Jesus, dude.
man.
I ain't gonna- it-
Jesus.
I ain't- we'll get into that next episode. But there's a very real world where that Hawks team is like one of the best teams
Yeah.
in the league
And
record
you get a
wise,
top 5 pick.
and they just walk into a yeah.
I'll say quickly
So
run through the Jazz. Oh, actually, let's get
13, 15. That's
Fif-
being-
yeah, 13, 15.
14,
Yeah,
15.
Yeah,
I
let's
ain't
keep,
gonna lie.
let's keep it. But this team's gonna
They
be
not
bad.
even
You
finishing
know what?
13. I'm be real,
I'll say
bro.
12, 15 because maybe Zion's skinny now.
Yeah,
So,
who cares? And
um,
the Jazz 17-65 last season. They're gonna be bad. They're probably gonna be the worst.
shout out
team in
to
the league.
Jazz suck.
You know what's gonna
Yeah.
be fun? I will say the Jazz do stink. They have an intriguing collection of young talent.
they
that
do.
I am intrigued.
I'll say watching Ace
Isaiah
Bailey shots
Collier's
are gonna be cool.
good. Bryce Sensabaugh, Keontae George, and the
Exciting.
crown
Flip.
jewel of all of it right now,
Ace
Darius Ace Bailey, who fired his agent, which means he has better decision making skills than any of us thought he did. So shout out to him for that.
Shout out Ace
But
Bailey.
yeah,
So,
Jazz
yeah.
suck. We don't have to talk about this.
Trade Laurie Markkinen.
Range is 15 to 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, that's what they want to do. You know,
And
they,
they should.
they're,
Yeah,
there-
that's
there's
what
a
I'm
guy who has been paid a lot of money for the last couple of years to spend his time in Utah
AJ
and
DeBonsta.
get used to playing in the Utah weather. And that is AJ DeBonsta, who's going to be at BYU this year. I'm telling y'all right now, Adam Silver, again, I like my life. Don't bring the black trucks outside. When the Utah Jazz, they're not going to get 1 or 3. That's going to be too obvious. They're going to get pick 2. They're going to get pick 2 and take AJ at pick 2.
I
Y'all
go,
heard it
this
here
this
first.
has a potential to
I'll
age
take
so
us out.
well, bro.
Yeah, nobody else wanted to.
Jazz suck.
I said
Yeah,
trade.
Jazz-
Trade Laurie, please.
Yeah,
Trade
Jazz-
Laurie.
Nothing to say
Markkinen.
about this.
Trade Laurie.
That would be
Lori sucks too.
a hell of a Eurobasket,
I
though.
was
So,
about to
yeah,
say, that
trade him on
Eurobasket,
value.
I don't know, man.
That'll be today's episode of the Right Read Podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Everybody's links will be down in the description below. And yeah, catch y'all next time.